we all know that social networking sites allow us to create a version of ourselves that adequately represents ourselves, well, to a certain extent, of course. The fact of the matter is that there aren't many things restricting us from twisting things around a little bit. Facebook has become one of our generation's most favorite ways of expressing ourselves. It allows us to exchange information, entertainment, stay in touch with our friends and family. It allows millions of people to pretty much see ourselves from a third-person perspective. We get to see ourselves from a third-person perspective as well. It's this new perspective of seeing ourselves in cyberspace which leads us pretty much to comparing this new perspective to our own self-image that we have of who we really are as a person.
Popular culture creates scripts. These scripts are what we use to build our identities. Michael Strangelove, author of Empire of Minds, said that the scripts that are used by popular culture are pulled from everyday things, whether this be genres of music, or nature, or fashion trends. This is what we use to create ourselves. With the new and growing popularity of amateur culture, through things like Facebook and YouTube, we are allowed to create our own identity. Facebook allows us to do this especially since we can choose what information we disclose and how much of it is true or false. For instance, on my own personal account, out of my 106 friends, 8 of them use their real names, including their middle names, which is something that you would not normally disclose with everybody around you. 6 of them use nicknames, even though most of them are personal and used only by their friends and family. 7 of them use fake names, such as Harley Quinn or Hugh Man, and 7 of them abbreviated their names to the point where they were almost unrecognizable. The reasons they did this vary drastically. The people who used their real names offered excuses like, oh, it looks better when it's longer. The people who used their nicknames liked the way it sounded or was read.
The fact of the matter is that for some people, what other people see online, they might perceive as being actually more important than real life. So then some people actually go out of their way and create a more professional profile where some information is edited out or canceled or whatever. They go on to create a different type of persona that doesn't really show who they really are.
Since we control our identity all through our schooling, what do we do after we leave? What happens when we go into the workplace? How do we integrate both lives into one? Basically, what has happened, we've done a case study has been done by IBM by 2 executives called Joan Morris D'Amico and David R. Millen. And basically what they have told us is over 80% of students in university in the United States do have a Facebook page and have it once they leave the workplace. On Facebook, IBM has a network of over 14,000 people on it. And then they also have just researched only 68 people with a user profile that use IBM. And they've decided that there's only 3 categories that they can almost categorize everyone. The 3 most popular categories that they discovered was that reliving the college days was the most important one. Then it was dress to impress, and the last one was living in the business world. What the first category means, living in the college days, it has the largest amount of students that moved into IBM in it. Their average age is about 25 years old, and they still update their status 24/7. And they always just have, they have the least coworkers as well, more friends from university and reminiscing about the past. They're not integrating their business life with their social life. The second category, which is called just to impress, they're a more older crowd, around 36 is the average age, and they sort of mix and mingle their friends from university or college and with their new network of IBM. More or less what they do is they mix their college friends' life on their walls, and then they also mix and mingle with their business. So they can't control their 2 lives together quite yet, and it still looks unprofessional. Also, they have more work networks than their friends. Final category is living in the business world. Basically, this category has only got Facebook just because they wanted to connect with their coworkers, so they don't have any other friends except for their network on IBM. More or less, they're an older crowd and they don't use Facebook as much as the other 2 do. These categories in this case study basically show we choose how to display ourselves, and if we don't display ourselves properly in the workplace or even at university, it could come back and haunt us. We have to choose how to display our identity properly in order to succeed in the world.
conclusion, what we're trying to say is that a profile is like a resume. You can change it so you're more popular with your friends and appealing to their wants and interests, or you can change it to be more appealing to your professional provider.
This is how you alter your identity. Just like a resume. You put on what you need, and then after that, you're good to go.